And hello guys, welcome back to an episode of Hogwarts Legacy. In the last episode, we did the broom upgrade for the final broom upgrade. We helped out Natty with the prison as she got kidnapped.
Oh, good,
Now
safe.
we are speaking to Poppy, see what she's got to do. Hello, Poppy.
There you are. You were in such a state when you left.
The poachers got to my gran. Someone recognized me in Horntail Hall and they got to her.
What do you mean?
Ooh, okay.
She's all right.
She's fine, thank goodness. But they were at her house, our house. They assumed I'd sent the egg there. She said they took the whole place apart looking for it, screaming that we'd cost them everything.
I'm sorry, Poppy.
Ooh,
I'm glad
okay.
she's all right. I don't think either one of us could have anticipated that.
I should have known.
Don't forget to
I
subscribe and
underestimated
ring the
poachers.
notification bell to
And
get
now
latest
another
videos.
creature's
And
in
don't
danger.
forget
What do you
to
mean?
like the video.
Poachers refused to leave
Really help to
empty-handed.
support the channel.
So they took valuable journals that Gran had discovered when she was researching rare creatures. One of them contained theories about a secret hiding place of the Snidget, long thought to be extinct.
The Snidget.
I take it you aren't going to let the poachers anywhere near the Snidgets.
Gran wants me to stay out of it, but I know she's devastated that poachers might go after the Snidgets, if they still exist. We had the element of surprise on our side when we saved that dragon, but the poachers will be watching for us now.
We need allies. Others who hate the poachers enough to help us, who value creatures as much.
Centaurs.
Beard, you're a genius. The centaurs, they'd want the Snidgets protected at all costs.
Right,
Sounds
let's
as if we
speak
need
to
go
them.
and talk to the centaurs.
We'll need to be careful in how we approach them. Tensions with them are high. Still, I think they may be our only hope. Let me think on it.
Okay.
I'll let you know as soon as I have a plan.
Well, that's plan is sorted. Get some of these. Right, and now let's speak to Natty, shall we? Oh, Natty, where are you? Right. I'm here.
I've been meaning to speak with you.
I still can't believe we
Yes.
escaped the Ashwinders.
You may not realize it, but you are the talk of the school since you saved me that day.
I wonder how everyone knows about it.
I told my mother in the hope that she would be more forgiving of what I have been up to if it came from me. She
And your
likely
mother
told
been
other
posting.
professors, and news travels quickly. Unfortunately,
okay.
she might in
We're
fact
famous.
have been even less forgiving than I'd hoped.
If she knew more about what you've done, I suspect she'd be proud.
If she knew any more about what I've done, she would never let me out of her sight again.
I'm sorry. Has Officer Singer done anything with the evidence we provided?
She has not. Harlow is as strong as ever. Someone needs to stop him, whether it is us or Officer Singer. If someone had stopped the monsters like him in Matabeleland, my father would be alive today.
What exactly happened to your father?
It was a beautiful day. My mother had gone to tend to a neighbor who was ill, and so my father and I were galloping in the savannah.
Galloping? Your father was also an animagus, I take it.
He could become the most majestic giraffe, and he would carry me on his back, my arms around his neck. We were on our way home when we surprised a group of bandits who had come from our village. One of them saw me just as he removed a scarf from his face. He shouted and then aimed his rifle.
He didn't want you to identify him.
Exactly. In an instant, my father bowed his neck to protect me and was hit. As he fell, my father changed back into his human form. When the bandits saw this, they turned and ran in fear. Magic terrified them, and then he was gone.
Poachers.
And it was all my
Human
fault.
posters.
Your fault? How so?
He died protecting me. If I had been capable of protecting myself,
Or
he would
muggles,
still be
poachers,
alive
really.
today. My mother and I tried to go on without him, but it became too much for us there. A few years later, we left to come to Scotland.
Wow.
I'm sorry, Natty. I can't imagine what you've been through. Your father sounds exceptional.
He was truly extraordinary. And thank you for your kind words. We all have our burdens. My father had a saying about that.
Yes, I remember. Rain does not fall on one roof alone.
Exactly. Soon you and I will put an end to the Ashwinders, beginning with Harlow. And once he is gone, we will turn our attention to Rookwood. We are making
Yes, we
progress,
want Rookwood as much we want him.
Thank you again
Right.
for saving me. You deserve all of the praise you have received.
Not really. Alright, that talk is done. Now let's do one of the actual side quests. That is speaking to the headmaster. The headmaster trick. Oh, Professor Fig, I'm here.
Welcome back.
Yes, thank you. Where's
Hello,
Professor Pig?
Professor. I have news. The goblins are looking for something. Another repository. They've built drills to help with their search.
Most troubling.
Are these repositories like the broken container I found at Rookwood Castle?
They are. I fear we have no time to lose. Have a look at the map.
The map.
Fortunately, the next trial is fairly nearby.
It's Hogwarts.
As you know, I was headmistress in my time. My portrait hangs in the headmaster's office. In fact, I witnessed Professor Black learn of your arrival. And I'll confess that I wondered about you.
Wait, is the next trial in the headmaster's office?
It is. I had
Oh,
hoped
is it?
that when
Okay.
the time came, the occupant of that office would be of help to us. Unfortunately, this headmaster seems wildly unconcerned with anything but himself. You'll need to access the office while he's away.
I understand. Very well. I'll find some way to get in.
Good. I shall meet you in my portrait there. Until then.
Right, portrait time. And that is the head
How will I
office.
gain access
Isn't
to
it?
the headmaster's office? Perhaps Professor Fig will know what to do.
Right, Professor Fig, we need your assistance.
What are you up to now?
Where's Professor Fig, actually? Speak to Professor Fig office. Right, Professor Fig, you better have something we can do. Thank you.
I think I know how and where to approach the centaurs about protecting the Snidgets. Meet me in the Forbidden Forest.
I will do that in a bit.
Professor Fig, the keepers have shown me where the next trial is.
Has something changed?
Lodgok and I have learned that the goblins are searching for another repository, like the one we saw at Rookwood Castle. And I discovered that they're building massive drills to help in their search. Professor Fitzgerald seemed very concerned.
I see. Ranrock clearly knows even more than we suspected.
And sir, there's something else. Lodgok knew Miriam.
He knew Miriam?
They encountered each other at Rookwood Castle. She was doing research. That's where she found the container with the portkey. He liked her so much that he let her leave with it, despite orders from Ranrock.
I don't know what to say. She could win over almost anyone. I want to hear more of this. And, in fact, I'd like to speak with Lodgok directly. But we've no time now. Where is the next trial?
Believe it or not, it's in the headmaster's office.
Incredible. Very well. You'll need the password to get past the stone gargoyle. The headmaster's house elf will know it.
Incredible!
I don't know the headmaster's house elf. Will he even speak to me? I imagine he's loyal to the headmaster.
He is. So you'll need a disguise. I have just the thing. A Polyjuice potion. You'll look and sound like Professor Black.
Wait, doesn't Polyjuice potion require a bit of the person you want to change into? And take ages to brew?
It does?
So how do you already have Polyjuice potion to change into Professor Black?
One never knows when such a thing may come in handy. Let's just say I felt the need to be prepared for anything after my fruitless trip to the ministry on his behalf. Now, time is of the
okay.
essence. Drink up and I shall explain more.
Now we're Professor Black!
How do you feel?
Incredible.
I won't forget that taste anytime soon. How do I sound?
Convincing. I've taken the liberty of transfiguring your robes. As we discussed, you'll need the password from Scrope, who could be anywhere in the castle. You might look for Professor Kagawa. She's taken to badgering the poor elf about Quidditch in the hopes that he can convince Black to change his mind. Thus far, unsuccessfully.
I see. But what if Professor Black sees me?
Leave him to me. I shall tell him where to meet a liaison from the Ministry in Hogsmeade. That should give you plenty of time.
Thank you, Professor. I suppose we'll meet again in the map chamber.
It's rather strange to hear gratitude coming from Professor Black. I'll see you there.
Now to find the headmaster's house elf.
Let's speak with Professor Rogawa.
Professor, a moment of your time.
Oh God,
Professor.
Professor Sharp.
Places to be, Professor Sharp. Places to be.
Of course, sir. Only, you'd asked me about a particular potion, and I
did? I did, yes. Well, spit it out, Sharp. I don't have all day.
Probably best not to discuss it here, sir.
I assure you, Sharp, you may speak freely.
Very well. I've brewed the cure for boils you wanted. I can drop it by your office when it's convenient.
Of course, yes. No need for all the cloak and dagger. Simply have a student deliver it.
A student. Very well, sir, if you insist.
I do. And thank you, Sharp. I just hope you've brewed enough for all my boils.
Now, to determine which student...
If you must speak with me, consult my secretaries or what have you. Now move along.
This is gonna be quite amusing. What do you want?
Gareth. Mr. Weasley, what are you doing here? Don't you have somewhere to be?
Oh, Professor. Yes, of course. All sorts of places I'd rather be right now. Do you need something from me?
I'm looking for my house elf. Surely you've seen him?
Ah, the little one-eared fellow. I saw him heading to the Great Hall moments ago, muttering on about your, sterling graces, sir.
I hear you're getting quite good at those concoctions you brew. I say, why don't you bring a sample of your next batch to my office? I'd like to give it a try.
What? Yes, sir. I will. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
On your way, Mr. Weasley.
Alright.
There's one for my diary.
So he's in the Great Hall, is he? Oh, there's
Has anyone
Professor
seen
Fig.
my ivory-handled hand mirror? Of course you haven't.
Headmaster, here, what could you want?
Mr. Gaunt, where do you think you're going?
I beg your pardon, sir. I'm simply on my way outside.
Taking the day off, eh? Typical student, wasting the hours away.
I have to write 20 inches on Dittany and its uses. Was heading to the greenhouse.
Ah, yes. Mixed with bubo tuber pus makes a fine mustache paste. Yes, mustache paste. I find.
Are you feeling all right, sir? You don't seem yourself.
I assure you I am quite healthy, Gaunt. If I need a medical diagnosis, I shall head to St. Mungo's.
Okay, this is quite amusing.
Professor, a word? Professor Black? Again, it is not too late to reconsider your decision regarding Quidditch. We could still have trials and a somewhat shortened season. It would be better than none at all.
But the injury, Madam Kagawa.
Professor, more than one student has taken a bludger to the head on our pitch. I dare say it knocked some sense into them. And they're fine now. The fact that it happened to be a pureblood, well, that's no reason to...
What nonsense! That you would trivialize the health of a student over a silly game.
A silly game? You are quite impossible sometimes. Sir, I've a good mind to write to the Department of Magical Games and Sports at the Ministry about you.
Good
Please
idea.
do.
I can even provide the parchment should you need it. Now, Where is my elf?
Parchment? Very well, I will, and with pleasure. And I spotted Scrope in the Great Hall. Seems to be avoiding me.
I wonder why. Good day, Madam Kagawa.
What did we do to deserve him as a head?
I haven't time for any of you at the moment. None. None at all. Move aside.
Learn about the password. Okay.
I hope it's not about anything I've been doing.
No, I'm not talking to you. You talk to the
call
elf.
that a shine on those boots? Do
Professor?
Oh,
A
my
word,
lord.
Please. Hello, Professor Black.
Professor Weasley. How delightful to see you.
Sir?
Since I have you here, I wonder if I might speak with you about Professor Fig.
Oh, very well.
I've decided to give him a bit more leeway with his time.
Leeway, Professor? Are you sure that's wise? I confess I do worry for his students. He's rarely here as it is.
Well, yes. He's handling some official ministry business for me.
I see. But, sir, if I may, I am wary of how much time the new fifth year seems to be spending away from the castle, supposedly on Professor Fig's behalf. I've heard unsettling rumors of their escapades. Everything from sneaking into the Forbidden Forest to confronting Ranrock's loyalists and Rookwood's lot.
What? Goodness. You cannot believe everything you hear, Professor. No.
I'm liking this one.
I mean, I shall keep an eye on Fig. You simply keep doing the wonderful job that you're doing. Simply
I'm sure he will.
I-
Or she will.
Well, thank you. But I'm happy to look into...
Good. Good. That'll be all, Weasley. I mean, Professor Weasley. Good day.
A wonderful job. Leeway for Professor Fig. I shall never understand that.
This is so funny.
Right until Masters.
Attention, students. I hereby decree that the Great Hall be forthwith decorated in the elegant banners of Ravenclaw. I shall be taking no questions at this time. Or ever.
Yay!
Scrope!
Oh, greetings, Master.
Remind me of the password to my office.
Oh, but Master made Scrope swear never to tell anyone, even Master himself.
How dare you question me? I've a mind to give you a matching set of ears.
Yes, sir. Of course, sir. Scrope begs forgiveness. It is the Black family motto, Master.
Right. Of course.
And I assume it's French.
Master does remember it.
It's pure bloods forever, isn't it?
Close, Master. Scrope thinks Master is indeed testing Scrope. It is always pure.
Obviously.
And, of course, as Master knows, in French.
Yes, of course. I order you to pronounce it for me.
Oh, but Master knows that Scrope's French is most pitiful. Oh, very well. Toujours pur.
Thank you. Never speak of
Toujours
this conversation
pur.
with me or anyone else.
Of course, sir.
I like that.
Scrope shall
That's
try
good.
his best to keep out of Master's way.
The
Right.
Polyjuice potion's wearing off. I best get out of sight.
Get out. This corner.
Made it just in time. It's wearing off.
Fig was
That
right.
it is.
I can't believe it worked. Now to speak the password to the gargoyle.
And that's that mission done. Right, and that will be it for this episode, guys. Hope you enjoy it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next one. See you guys.